how to follow the common point philosophy. Up, hold the book up so you can have a better life. Pause. I'm trying to think of the simplest way you can understand the common point philosophy. Just take a moment and feel your inner essence. Feel your heartbeat. Realize you're breathing. Accept that you're breathing. Trying to think of the simplest ways. Realize your existence as you are. Let's start with that. Realize your existence as you are. Don't fantasize your existence as you see yourself, as you want others to see you. You see my cow over my shoulder. I got all kinds of stuff up. I can flying cow, another cow, a banana. Excuse me. I want to be a little serious in this video. I want you to get it. I want to have an aha moment. I want the question mark above your head. I want the light bulb boop, to go on above your head. But we're going to start with a real simple lesson. Realize your existence. And you're going, okay, I'm going to click away from this guy. He's crazy. What do you mean by that, John? What do you mean by me realizing my existence? When you realize, realization is the self-truth. Realization is self-truth. When you realize, when ancient man looked at his reflection in the water, he realized his existence. At first he went, what is that? Frightening looking creature. And then the light bulb over time, he'd go back and he would touch the water. It would ripple. And his face would ripple. The water reflection. He'd touch the water again. It's not the water that's the real, it's not the water that's the reality. It's not the image in the water that was the reality. The reality was he understood that he existed. Go that deep. Realize your existence. You're looking in a mirror. You're seeing yourself. But don't see the image in the mirror. See within the mirror, the image of the mirror, like the primitive man saw his image in the water. See your image in the mirror, but see through it and realize who you are. When you finally come to terms who you are, then you can realize anything. You can create anything. You can establish anything. You can build anything. You can own anything. Tangible or intangible. You can realize the love of your life. Intangible. You can realize a beautiful home. Tangible. You can realize good health. Intangible. You can realize a well-developed body. Tangible. It's not complicated. We, as human beings, make it complicated because of one thing. We make a realization of our life complicated because of one thing. Limitations. Believing in limitations. We believe so strongly in our limitations that it overrides our ability to be limitless. We believe so strongly in our own limitations that makes us crippled. It cripples us. It defeats us. It holds us back. It conquers us because we believe we have limitations. How to follow the common point philosophy. That's what this video is about. Why did I talk about limitations? The ice cream truck going by. In the common point philosophy, there are no limitations. I will repeat that. In this philosophy, you have no limitations. Go back to primitive man, touching the water, seeing the reflection. When he realized his own realization of himself, that was the first, as in the flame on this book, the spark of life, the flame of life, the beginning of life. When he saw his reflection rippling in that water, and it came back and hit him, and he realized his own potential. He realized his own existence, created his limitless potential. That's when human beings, started to create things like tools, fire, cooking, the wheel. Pretty amazing invention, the wheel. Tools. He realized that he had the ability to see himself. By seeing yourself inward, seeing yourself, when you look inward, you can outward create anything you can think of. There are no limits. That's a big part of the common point philosophy. Now, in the other video I just did that I put up called What Are the Fundamentals of Common Point? I touched on this a little bit. These two videos are related, and I'm going to launch them at the same time. You must. You must eliminate the shackles that bind you. You must eliminate the box that traps you. You must eliminate the thinking that controls you negatively. It's up to you to do that. Religion controls you. Society controls you. A lot of things you allow to control you. Why? Why do we, as human beings, allow other entities, religions, people, societies, governments, dictators, kings, rulers, factions? Why do we let that or them or it control us as an individual? Why? Because we don't believe in ourselves. We haven't accepted the capacity to believe in ourselves. Even if you go back 30,000 years, or however long it was ago, when that primitive man saw his reflection in the water. That was a moment. That was a revelation. That was a turning point in human history for him to see himself. And when you can see yourself, you can change yourself. But you got to be brutally honest with yourself to see yourself. That's the first step. But when you see yourself, you will blossom. You will grow. You'll create. You'll conquer. You'll survive that amazing, amazing revelation. And it doesn't come from religion. It comes from within. Growth doesn't come from something. Growth comes from you accepting reality around you. Be it pain, be it pleasure, be it anger, be it fear, be it knowledge, be it anything that's thrown at you or given to you. Whatever you accept in you becomes you. Whatever you accept in you, your being will become you. Here is a very simple, simplest way I can explain it. You're an inner city kid living in Chicago, in the slums, in the ghettos of Chicago. It's nothing but crime, gangs, graffiti, negative life, horrible situation. You, that individual, will most likely become that if you stay in that environment. We become our environment. It's a natural course of development. We become our environment. I sometimes really wonder if I was a 16-year-old boy living in poverty in Chicago, if I had looked inward, if I was a 16-year-old boy, looked inward and said, you know, if I stay here, I'm going to get caught up into this life. do I want this life? I would do everything in my power. I would work 3 jobs. I would do whatever I could to make money, to save and save and save. And I would buy a bus ticket out of there and slap my ass somewhere in the Midwest in some small little town, get a job in some little general store, and I would start fresh. And that environment around me would create my future. That environment, that new environment that I went to will create a better future for me. But here's the thing. A lot of people do not have the inner strength, the inner knowing to have the desire to do that. They stay in that environment, generation after generation after generation. How is this related to the common point philosophy? How you can follow the common point philosophy is by understanding yourself deeply. Being brutally honest with yourself and saying, do I really believe this? Or is this something I want to believe? No matter what it is. Your belief, your religion, your belief system, the relationships that you're in, the marriage that you're in, the relationship with your mother, your father, your teachers, your coworkers. Is this the relationships I want to be in? And when you sit down and you say to yourself, I do not want to be where I am today. And you sit down and you look strongly at yourself in that water that primitive man looked into like a mirror. And you be brutally honest with yourself. And once you understand why you are there, the decisions you've made to be where you are, when you can accept that, then the light bulb will go on and you'll understand what the common point philosophy is all about. It's about self-development. It's about self-acceptance of who you are. Not accepting what you're given, but accepting what you can create. It's not about accepting what you are given. Generation after generation after generation for thousands of years, people have accepted what they have been given. We are on the cusp of a huge revelation with human beings, with the human experience. I believe we are on a so close of a major breakthrough with human evolution. And you can be part of that. Common Point is a part of that. It's not about accepting what you are handed, generation after generation after generation. It's about looking inward, looking at that reflection, and being honest with yourself. Who am I? And what are my possibilities? They're endless. Back to how do you follow the common point philosophy? Watch my videos. Look inward. The common point philosophy, in a nutshell, I talked earlier in the other video, is about connecting to source. Source is in everything. It's not spirit, it's not soul, it's not energy, it's blah, blah. It is just being. It's in everything. It's in my jacket, it's in me, it's in my voice, it's in you, it's in your family, it's in your house. You could call it essence, you could call it energy. It's not spirit, it's not soul. It's just an entity that exists. And when you understand yourself and you connect to that essence, you can create anything you can imagine. There's nothing you cannot do. There's nothing the human race cannot do if you understand that concept. How do you follow the philosophy? Follow it by understanding you. And I'm going to give you a very simple lesson, and we are going to stop this video. Look at your hand. Just look at your hand. Study it. Look at your hand for 3 minutes. But when you look at your hand, like the reflection the primitive man was looking at on the water, don't look at the water. Look at the hand. What do you mean by that, John? If you look at your hand long enough, you will start noticing things. The veins, the indentions, and the markings, and the colors, and all that's in your hand. When you start looking deeper at things, then you are connecting to source. If you go in the backyard and you sit on the ground, stop, another one. If you go in the backyard, just pick a leaf. If you have a maple tree, pick a maple tree leaf off. Just that leaf. Look at the back of the leaf. Study the leaf. It's not meditation. It's not mindfulness. That's all bullshit. Just forget all that. Just look at the leaf. Study the leaf for 5 minutes. Don't look away. Don't think about anything else. Don't think about yourself. Don't think about anything else. Just look at the leaf and study it. And you will go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the essence of that leaf. And you will notice so many things about that leaf you never knew. It will just come to you. That's absorbing essence. That's taking the essence of the life of that leaf into you and understanding it. It's a really small example of immersion that you can do with Common Point. How to follow Common Point. You start there. You start with small little challenges. Okay? You do it with a leaf. You can do it with your hand. Then, once you accept that possibility, let me rephrase that. Once you accept your possibilities, which are endless. I talked about one day how I bought a house in California. It's another video. With this process. I was a college student. I had no money. I'll make it real short because I want you to go see the video. I went to this model house and I sat in the living room every single day, and the realtor says, "When are you going to buy a house?" I said, "I don't know." "Are you going to buy a house?" "Yeah, I'm going to buy it." I had no money. I was living on student loans and ramen, and I was broke. I was living in an apartment. I had absolutely no means to buy that house. I did that every day. If you hear a siren in the background, that's traffic going by. I did that every day for weeks. I was a pest. But the means came my way in my life to buy that house. Because I immersed myself into that possibility. Like the inner city kid in Chicago. You do whatever you gotta do. You work 3 jobs, 4 jobs. You work night and day. You do whatever you gotta do to get out of that environment. Then you go to a small town, and the environment around you, I almost dropped the book, the environment around you in that better atmosphere will bring you a better life. That is source, bringing you a better life because you stepped out what you didn't want. It is so simple. How to follow the common point philosophy. That's how you start. It's not a religion. It's not a cult. It's an amazing philosophy that has made me wealthy, has made me happy, has made me solid on soul, understanding myself internally and externally. It's an amazing philosophy. Not because I figured it out, but because it came to me. I accepted it and put it in a book. I'm going to go. The Book of Common Point. I love you guys. I want to see each and every one of you have an amazing life. But that amazing life will not happen until you get rid of the roadblocks. Get rid of the self-proclaimed roadblocks. The self-proclaimed fence or wall or roadblock or whatever it is that we all as human beings put in front of us to make life such a struggle. Life doesn't have to be a struggle. It's a struggle because we are conditioned that it's got to be a struggle. We are trained and told and manipulated and brainwashed by certain things in our environment, in our community, in our life that tells us, you can't do that. You can do whatever you want to do. I did. And I am doing it. I'm not stopping. Love you guys. I'm going to go. How to follow common point philosophy. Start with baby steps. Understanding it. Bit by bit. Connecting to source. Think about that image of that primitive man looking in that mirror. Or that water, seeing himself. Or the realization that he has self-awareness and was aware. And when you have self-awareness and you're aware of your environment and your self-awareness of what that environment's doing to you as a human being, then you can take the steps, the baby steps, to focus on an amazing life. And when you focus on that amazing life, that source in the universe will open up those doors for you. And here's the thing. Here's the big thing. You have to have the courage, the guts, the strength to walk through that door and keep walking and don't look back. You have to have that strength. That's another thing the common point philosophy will help you develop. Watch my other videos on that. Love you guys. I love each and every one of you guys, and eventually my YouTube channel is going to blow up. I just know it. Why? I just told you why. I have no doubts. Just a matter of me sitting here with my cow over my shoulder and my flying bull and flying pig and my banana. If you want to buy a book, DM me. I'll sell you a book or send you a book or whatever. You can not buy them online. They're not going to be online. I am not going to let Amazon take any of my money. You can buy them only directly from the Common Point Society or me. Through me. Let me know. Love you guys. Got to go. I'm going to go to editing. See ya. Bye now.